very quick presentation. I only have 7 pages. Let's begin with the easiest part. The first thing I would ask is, when you hear Mountain View, what comes to your mind? To me, it is several things. Urban city life, your tech campuses, convenient, ambient weather. This is common sense. I do prepare something to make this presentation a little bit fun. Question. What is the MTV? What is the MVSD? What is the MTWSD? Does anyone has any comments? The hint is a W. Maybe this one is the hardest. The hint is a W. W stands for Whisman Station. So it is a Mountain View Whisman School District. Anyway, and the second one is there is a common word to refer to the location of Mountain View. What is that? It's called the Peninsula. Anyway, there's one more. This is something that has a definite answer. It has a mention tax, or you call it a mention transfer tax. What is the starting point? We know San Jose has a measure E, and here it's called measure G. Anyone dares to offer an answer? Okay, 6 million.
Too much new knowledge. Yeah, explain one by one to us. This is very good. Yeah, very good. That's why we need this talk, right? So.
Oh, sure,
yeah.
sure.
I can only answer question number 1, not 2 and 3. I know Whisman, but nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a $6 million for measure G in Mountain View. In San Jose, it's
Yeah.
2.3
I know.
million.
I only know the San Jose one. The San Jose measure E. I think now it's like 2.4, right?
2.3.
2.3. Oh, 2.3. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Previously it was like 2, but it changed the last year, right? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, we will have something new to plus the audience. This is a small section about what is contained in the city of Mountain View. You may say in terms of zip code 40, 41, 43, and you can also use this. You can read it up later. So the general impression is if you study from the south, that is 40. That's the highest single-family premium. And if you go north, that's 41. Yeah, it's mixed. And 43, oh, adjacent to tech campuses, high density, just like that. Then we talk about the hill evolution. I put a diagram here. This is the year Mountain was first incorporated. At that time, it's very small. Where it is? If you look at this map, roughly here. And then look at the surroundings. Palo Alto is earlier, and Sunnyvale is later. The rest is just oh, okay. There's Santa Clara is earlier than Mountain View, like Los Altos and then Cupertino, much later. Then, hey, when we see Mountain View, it has a root in the 20th century, early 20th century. We call it the agricultural railway area, but it never means any phases of Silicon Valley development. Then I bring up another small question. quiz continued. What is this part? Everyone knows it's a Shoreline Park, right? What it used to be? It's actually landfill. The mountain does not didn't have that much waste to fill up the landfill area. They invite the county of San Francisco to move their waste and dump here. And later, once the tech booms, Google want to expand. Google has a mega campus expansion plan. Because of the location, and also because of the pre-existing landfill over there, their plan cannot move smoothly forward. So it's trimmed down. It's just like someone shoot at their own feet. This is the Mountain View city planner has done. So hard to say, they did an excellent job. Then look at this, the nature part. If we put those in several sections, below El Camino Real, the section A, and then on the left of the shoreline and the Castro Street around area or the downtown area, we call it B, and this one more leaning towards the east, called C, and this D. In this pattern, from A to B to C to D, this is called the alluvial span, and this one is called the valley sediment. And this one, there's another special word I forgot. And this one is called the bay marsh area, or you call it the bay mud area, MUD, mud. So from these words, you can guess out. Here, the land is much older. This is younger, even younger, that's even younger. Here, the drainage is the best, and this is relatively better, and it's worse, and the worst. It's the worst, it's the worst. And talk about the clay component. This is less. This is the intermediate. It's high. It's the highest clay component. Once the clay component is high, it means it has a swell shrink property, makes the construction on the surface hard to stand. So in this area, we may have liquefactions. So the nature gives a condition. If you move to the south, it's better. However, if you take up a big picture, here is no better than, say, Campbell, no better than Cambrian. So it's just in this context, the A parcel is the best. So once Google want to expand the campus in D, they have to face engineering challenges. They have to put in deep pikes into the mud, into the earth. But more than that, because of the existence of old landfill, they have other concerns. One of them is called the methane. It's a gas body. The other is leachate. Leachate, it's just like a liquid, percolated when the water gets inside the landfill. Here, you see, there's a landfill. You see that is a fascinating view, right? A golf course, but if you're sitting on the grass, 3 feet below the grass is the cap of the landfill. Does anyone realize that? If you
Not
see,
I've been there to watch the fireworks on Independence Day, but never
Okay.
realized it's actually a landfill. Yeah, we
Yeah.
walked there a lot.
if you see a shrub 6 feet below the shrub, that is a lid that used to on top of the landfill.
Yeah.
So
I
roughly,
think the conceptual map is really good. This actually gives you a very quick understanding of the not only the geographic area but also the price of Mountain View. Basically, the more southern, the more expensive, and the better the community is. And also the west is better to east. So that's one of the reason people wanting to pay a little bit more is that basically west of Mountain View area they go to Los Altos High School, and east goes to Mountain View High School. However, we think these two are basically the same level of school, but in many parents' eyes, obviously Los Altos is a premium city, right? So basically, if given the same choice, if sometimes when they see houses says Los Altos School, they're gonna see, wow, Los Altos High School. Oh wow, this one is coming with value. So this is something also, I probably Alex is gonna cover school later on, but just want to give you an overall heads up. Yeah, but I think the conceptual map is really helpful.
yeah. Since Sean mentioned about the schools, this is Bryan Street. Below this, that is Los Altos, and this is Springer. To the west of Springer is the Los Altos square area, Los Altos High. We have 2 schools in our focus. There's one more here. In here, Mountain View High, Los Altos High. Based on my knowledge, it is possible for you to transfer from Los Altos High to Mountain View, but roughly it's impossible for a student to transfer from Mountain View High to Los Altos High. Anyway, let's go to this part. This is called the deep dive section. We have a zip code specific things. I don't want to go to the detail. Since this document eventually will share, you can just read it. There is some shocking part I will bring to our, make it smaller. Pitfalls. First of all is a tree for pitfall. Many people think, hey, I just fell down a tree. What the city can do to me? Here, surprisingly, unlike Sunnyvale, unlike Palo Alto, you can pay your money to resolve it. In Sunnyvale, no more than 50K. In Palo Alto, no more than 100K. But here, you could be facing in prison. It is called the misdemeanor. 6 months. And there is a fine. The fine is not has a upper bound. You don't know how much the fines eventually will be. But the misdemeanor is too terrible. Someone based on this misdemeanor may go to the jail for 6 months. This is totally outlier in the coastal cities. This is the city that the strictest tree protection policies. Then how to work around? Try to get a guy with a TRAQ qualification. So this guy with a tree risk assessment qualification, they will do level 3 advanced risk assessment. What did they do? They use the special tools to make risk topography or sonic tomography. And then you with this evidence talk to city planners. Let's just talk about the trees on your property. There's another section, others tree. The tree on others property, it can be a headache. As a realtor, you should be very cautious. The trees on other property could be a nightmare. The treaty ordinance says from the origin of the other tree times 10 times of the diameter. That is a protection zone. Within this zone, no construction will be allowed. And if you don't do construction, can I make a road? You can't do a cement road. The only road you can build is a paver road. Okay, the third pitfall is setback. Most cities have restrictions on setbacks, but Montreal has a second level setbacks. That means on the level 2, level 3, level 4, as you know, probably in the future, Montreal residentials may go to 8 stories. So all those from the ground up eventually will have setbacks. But the common sense could be the setback for the second story is good for the third, for the fourth, for so on. And then if you have a plan for reconstruction, rebuild, redevelopment, this is the long public hearing range. Then there is some heritage houses. If your house is labeled heritage, it's not a blessing. Actually, it's a curse. The owner cannot easily get it sold on the market. So as a buyer, my advice is simply leave it untouched. Because our Montreal is a place full of trees. Sewer lateral certificate sometimes required. And for condo buyers, hey, this is a good line. Not all the HOAs are created equal. Some could be in the very bad shape, meaning the general reserve fund is less than 100 or dramatically lower than 100%. Noise level. Even in Los Altos, Caltrain's sound can be heard. Well, pushing fast. Let's go to this one. Oh, okay. The trend. This line says it itself. Going dense is the trend. It's an unavoidable trend. In the future, you'll see 8-floor buildings. And we have a sample buildings that made a studio as many as few as 409 square feet. Too tiny, too small. And some new buildings, they got the permission from the city. They have dropped the parking requirements. They do not provide enough parking spaces. And what is the situation? They have a element they submitted to the state. Element specified they will do this. 11,000 new units. Can they do that? I doubt. So this is another sense probably you have never heard. In April next month, Mountain is going to do an overhaul of their zonings. Generally, it's upzoning. currently you see R3, it could be R3-2 star. That means you can build more units on a single parcel. So this is the thing is happening in the city. So this is trying to say, because of the layout of say the catching stations, because of their communal rear is designated as a traffic corridor. We will see more new construction unit burden will be placed on 94043. That means in this area, in the north, in the top. The baseline is you probably can guess more multifamilies, more condos will be constructed in this area, but less go to here. This science is because of in July, starting from July the 1st, California's 79 Senate Bill 79 will take effect. To Mountain View, that means a lot. There's a map. Yeah, this is major stations, and the reddest, solid red is 1/4 miles away from the station. Sorry, half a mile away from the station, and the pink radius is a whole mile away from the station. Given this, so we can easily say, make it larger, 21% of the city lands will be subject to Senate Bill 79's impact. That means a lot. If her multifam that has been active in the past 7 years is not easily be teared down anymore after July the 1st. If you have such a property under your name or your client's name, better do it quickly. There's a strong protection for tenants just because of Senate Bill 79. Okay. There's some fun part. So there's a computer history museum. Good to bring kids to go there, and there's a Google Plex. Is a good place to show around, and the Performing Arts Center, and the City Sports Club. A lot of new things over there. Indoor climbing, indoor racquetball. There is a Castro Valley, a street famous for dishes, food. So I've done my presentation. Now it's a Q&A time. Any questions?
Yeah, I just want to correct the one thing, like from what Sean mentioned, like the west is more expensive than the east, and the south is more expensive than the north. Yeah, because for the west part, it's not Los Altos High School. It's still like Mountain View High School. Only a small area was Los Altos High School. Yeah, please zoom out. Is like a small corner. I forgot the name of that area, but it is like between El Camino and let me see, between El Camino and the L Mountain Avenue. Yeah, there were like two part was Los Altos Highs. Yeah, so the reason that west is like more expensive than the east is because like the elementary and the middle school was belong to Los Altos district. Yeah, so that's why so the most expensive part will be like Bluesman Valley. Yeah, here like you can easily see all the house was like over 4 million. That's it.
Great points.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah. No, this is
No.
Waverly Park. Bluesman Valley is like is in the west. Yeah.
This area.
If you zoom, no, oh, here is Los Altos Heights. Now, like the arrow is like Los Altos Heights, and this is also Los Altos Heights. Yeah, only this two part in Mountain View and above, and on the other side of like 82, but like the other side of the El Camino, the price will be lower. So only like those two small area was like Los Altos High with like very decent neighborhood. But most expensive part would be like Bluesman Valley. Like if you go to the the bottom part of the Mountain View and the west, yeah, south and west. So Bluesman Valley will have like the most expensive property in the whole Mountain View. Yeah.
Sure, I'm done.
Okay. So thank you very much. And any other questions or anything? Because I think this is very concise. I think this is more like an overview overall the like a thing. But I think since we're here, I mean, if everybody feels good, then we don't want to drag this along. But if anyone has any specific questions about any specific communities, it's the time to ask. Okay. So anyone have any questions? So you're sure you're good? I don't ask me. So
I may have a question.
go ahead. Yeah, good question. Yeah. go
Can I
ahead.
see the map again? Can you show the map again?
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I can share the map.
Oh,
Can I-
thanks.
Yeah, can I switch to mine? Yeah. Okay, so here is the Mountain View map. Okay, so what is your question?
I have some question about the if you zoom in, so around the corner of when 85 meets 237 and to the
Here?
north. Sorry.
Like Whisman Station or?
Yeah,
Are you-
Whisman Station around there, that area. I think there is Superfund.
Superfund side,
Superfund
yeah.
sites there, and they have very dense communities there. And the housing price is quite low compared to the other part of Mountain View. And do you have more insights of there? Because I visited that area. I actually like the community feel because they have a large community, they have parks, and the people are just walk down the street and they're but how much is concern of the Superfund there? And like I have buyers budgeting probably can't afford something there, but that's the biggest concern we have, like other than Superfund and close to railway station. What's other things that that is bad?
Sean, can you answer? So yes, I mean, people who are looking for this area, most of those, they are looking for townhomes. There are like several community in this neighborhood. I'm not sure like if your clients are looking for single family home or townhome.
Yeah,
There's a
Single?
ton of small streets,
they are
you
looking
know,
for.
like, Once on see on upper side, you see the horizontal street. One or
Mhm.
two streets, not in North Whisman. There are a few streets
Yeah.
with a single family home.
Yes.
Typical single family homes. But most of these are townhouses and
Townhouse.
all PhD homes.
Yeah, my buyers are looking for townhouse, and there they have new townhouse and selling at 1.4 or even lower prices, and it's just like the cheapest we can find in Mountain View area.
Yeah, that's gonna be like 2 bedrooms.
Or like this,
Mm,
or like older house. They have like some older. If you see this one, it is built in like 1982, and the HOA usually will go about like $500 or $600. Yeah, so yeah. Most of like the newer townhome in this area was more than 3 bedrooms. Like the price will be a little bit like over. So all the townhouse around the 1.4 will be 2 bedrooms or like older community. So what is your question?
oh, I mean, I want to understand, is it like, other than Superfund and close to railway, is there anything, or close to highway, is there anything particular bad about that area that makes the price very low? Because I try to find the reasons.
Close to Caltrain. Some property close to the Caltrain, and you can hear the sound. But in average, I would say like the most most influence factor would be Superfund. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I probably can answer why it is low. There's other concerns. Along the 85, actually, it's the pipes for our gas.
Gas pipes, right?
Yeah, gas pipes.
Mhm.
And because of what I should say, there is a multi-families along that communal area, and probably I try to offer some explanation. I don't know exactly. Maybe historical reasons because of large populations, Hispanic population up there. So that could be a reason why generally the price of there is low. I used to go there to do open houses for a mobile home. Yes, you're right. Once you see so many mobile homes over there, the price generally cannot go up quickly.
1 second. Let me share this. I cannot. Let me share this. The gas pipeline website in the group. Yeah, that's a very good point. 1 second. Okay, let me share this in the group. Okay, so I've already shared in the group. So if you see here, you would let's see. You would possibly see where is it? They probably changed but like you can easily to find the pipeline weird. Where is the map? There should be a map. After I found it, I will share it. I will share it in the group. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there are several pipelines go through Mountain View. So there must be like another reason. Yeah, good point.
Okay.
Yep.
Maybe another question. What are the most favorite elementary schools for like Asian buyers?
Layla?
For
Ayala?
Mountain View?
Yeah,
Would be Springer and Oak.
Oh, Springer and Oak. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
But both of these schools actually belong to the Los Altos.
Los
School
Altos, yeah. Yeah, Los Altos School District. Yeah. Amy is also good, but with their park, they also have good school district, but like the middle school is slightly yeah, not as that good as like the other middle school, but like Amy Elementary is also a good school. Yeah.
I have a question about the gas pipeline. How would you suggest your client, like, how much is the distance? What is the distance would you recommend to purchase the property away from the gas pipeline?
Okay, so this is very personally, okay. 1 second. In San Bruno. Okay, and this is not gas leak, it's gas explore explosion.
That's for San Bruno 2010. You can find it.
Yeah, you can find a pipeline explosion. So this is because this happened in 2010. So usually if my clients ask, I won't convince them to trust, there's no risk, or because there's not like 100% to work guarantee. So I usually will tell them. So now the PG&E will have more monitor on this one, but usually we will suggest like the distance would be four column of like the whole, like, yeah, because like for last time in San Bruno, if you see, I can just find you some like picture, and you can see it's just explored 1, 2, 3, 4, like 1 to 2 lines of the house. So I would say, but it's all depends because here you can see more clearly 1, 2, right? So after four rows of the house, it would be like safe. But it's still very depends on like what they think. Some people, like my clients, some people they would consider like after 4 blocks. So that would be around 0.2 miles, I would say. That will say like if you just show them this picture, after 4 lines of the houses, it won't affect you, even though it will have a explosion. Yeah, but we will also tell them after this happened, the PG&E will have like more monitor on the gas pipeline, and will monitor every year inspection. So it rarely happened in the future. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, I have another question about the pipelines. Will it affect of the easement, such as the owner cannot build an ADU along the pipeline?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So usually pipeline will not go through between your backyard. It is usually will be in front of you, and it will not go through your property. It will be in between, like the road.
Hey, Diana, I can add some background information.
Yeah.
The pipeline we referred to earlier is overlapping with Freeway 85 and Stevens Creek. It is along the creek, so no properties can be that close to Stevens Creek. So it's either aligned with the freeway or along the Stevens Creek that it goes from the south to the north to the bay.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, so it won't go through your property. So that would be one thing, right? So it
Yeah.
won't affect the easement. And anyone has any other questions?
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you so much, Alex, for sharing. And I think it's very useful. And I believe Alex also already shared the text version of the PDF file in the group as well. So you guys can definitely download. And any questions we can feel more in the discuss more in the group. Yeah, and thank you for sharing. And have a nice day. Oh, by the way, next time we are going to. 2 weeks later, let me see, who is it? It's let's see. Area next time is going to be 2 weeks from now, but it's on a Monday. So it's going to be 30s, and it's going to be Shin on Santa Clara. Yeah, great content as well. So yeah, so we're gonna post the recording to the group as well. So yeah, you can definitely take a look again. Yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Have a good day. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.